Hi guys, Duelyst here and I'm back today with another one of our budget decklist series, and this time we're taking a look at Vanar. Now, I think I have to start this video off with the bad news that I think this was largely a failed experiment, and the reason behind this is I think Vanar has a lot of expensive cards, or at least rare cards and above, that make up its successful archetypes, and obviously with my constraints of trying to keep the deck list below 1000 spirit, I really struggled to include any of these or form any kind of cohesive identity or a solid win condition, so it kind of left us in a very bad position, and I spent a lot of time during the evening thinking of changes I could make or different ways I could approach playing the game with the deck, and none of them really seemed to achieve anything. The other kind of addendum I have to make to this is that I had a lot of internet issues at the start of the evening, and between trying to sort that out and the frustration that causes when obviously you're trying to stream, I was playing quite badly as well. I also have to say that we ran into a lot of decks that ran a lot of legendaries and had massively high value cards that we just couldn't keep up with. So when you're playing a budget deck like this, you don't have a win condition to play towards, and you run into people playing Keeper of the Veil on turn 5 that drops a Silverguard Protector or another Keeper of the Veil, or even a Macintor Warbeast as we found at one games. There's just really no way for us to come back from that, and so I'm reluctant to say that this is an entirely failed deck and incapable of doing anything, but as you'll see from the clips coming up, my win rate was absolutely awful, frankly. So I've posted the deck list below, and I think it's more than capable of climbing up through bronze and silver. I don't think that's necessarily a reflection of the deck's strength, but it is capable of doing so if you did want to play Vanar to do that, or just do quests at that level or something like that. Obviously when you reach gold, and when you reach gold earlier in the season, the level of decks that you're going to come up against are going to be much higher quality than this, and I think that you would need to invest in more cards to kind of really make this deck tick. So things like the Vespers like Glacial Elemental and Snowpiercer can make a fairly low cost budget Vesper deck. It wouldn't run at less than 1000 spirit, but it would be cheaper than perhaps some alternatives. The other things are cards like Boundless Courage or Voice of the Wind or Razorback. All of these play towards Vanar's kind of primary win conditions in other archetypes that you might see. It's just that for less than 1000 spirit I couldn't fit them into this. I do test these decks, as I say, before I go live. I try and get a win streak with them, and it was capable of going from rank 10 up to rank 8, but then we ran into a load of either very bad matchups, or like I say, I was playing badly, and we did, I think, finish the evening on rank 9, halfway through rank 9. So try it out if you are interested in playing Vanar. Watch the clips, probably just to see how badly I played it, and I'll be back tomorrow with a hopefully more successful budget song high list. Similar to yesterday, this isn't the first iteration of the deck. I ran through a bunch of them earlier. A few of them weren't very good at all, and no one really wants to see me fail repeatedly at rank 10. So we settled on the version that you can see on the right. Before I started streaming, I'm currently on a 4-game winning streak, so hopefully that will continue. But as this is a game of variance, no doubt I'm about to go on a massive losing streak and embarrass myself hugely. Right, so we don't really want a handful of spells right at the start of the game. Cheeky git. So I could just equip Snowpiercer here and go and smack this, I suppose. Could play Cryogenesis, but that doesn't really develop anything. It doesn't threaten whatever he drops next turn, but if he drops a bunch of 2-drops next turn, then Snowpiercer doesn't really get any value from that either. Unless they've got 3 health, I suppose it's slightly better if I don't have a minion on the board. Otherwise I could just play a Veil Hunter back, but that's really kind of weak at this point in time. All of these plays are kind of weak, but we'll go for it. Okay, whenever any minion is healed, this minion gains 1/1. So again, it's kind of a weak play where we don't really develop anything at all this turn. So I can either like go over here, completely ignore it and play out Ajaxi and Fenrir, or move over here, place Ajaxi and use the Saber Spine to kill this. Or I can come and kill this, Saber Spine this, and not do anything else. I don't think I really want to let him have all of the mana crystals. Hope if I can play it in the right place. So that will do us for this turn. Okay, I'm okay with that. So 5 mana, the most obvious choice here is to Hailstone this and use my Fenrir as well. Alternatively, I could just play my Fenrir and then play a Veil Hunter back here, but that's really weak to something like Holy Immolation when this just trades and then everything dies. So I think we're just a bit better off with this play for now. The reason I'm trading with like Jaxi where I might not otherwise is because clustering around Lionar is just like leaving it wide open to being killed by some kind of AoE damage, so I don't really want to do that if I can avoid it. So I can Fenrir into this and trade, which leaves me on 11 health, which is getting a bit risky. I'll replace a Veil Hunter and just see what else we get. So the question is whether I use this to trade with the mini jacks, or whether I take the damage and just keep the board clear, which I think is probably the better option at the moment. Now this play is kind of weak to Tempest. I probably should have played the Fenrir out instead. Okay, so we've got 3 damage at range. We can kill it off with Cryogenesis as well. I'm going to replace the Crystal Cloaker just to see what we get, and nothing good. So we're getting really a bit low on health now. But as long as we're kind of keeping board presence, that's kind of fine. We're wearing him down as well. That hurts a lot. But like I said, playing out all these range minions, or having all these range minions, is kind of weak to Tempest no matter what I do. So ideally I was looking for something like a Hailstone Prison there, which I haven't got. So I'm going to play these two back slightly just so that I play around Holy Immolation a bit better. Wow, going huge on the surges. I guess he had to kill them if there was no other way of healing, he had nothing else in hand, then fine. That just seemed like a weird bunch of spells to use. Okay, so we're off to a good start. The streak hasn't ended just yet. Now, Vanar's probably the best matchup against Vitruvian at the moment, with kind of the death of Lantern Fox and slightly less of the aggro Songhai kind of decks running around. Vitruvian has risen to the top of the pile by quite a margin, provided it's like your standard Time Maelstrom Third Wish type. Then, like I say, Vanar does do quite well against it because of the amount of spells and cheap removal they have. Whether it plays out that way, I don't exactly know, in this game anyway. Good guy, Vitruvian. So we can move up here, trade in this. It's a bit weak, I guess. Alternatively, I can take this, play out a 2-drop onto here, and then have a Fenrir to play as well. Place Frostfire, because that's not that useful at the moment. Is doing it this way weak to Third Wish, though. I'm going to play it over there just to space out a bit better, so kind of this positioning doesn't fall foul of Third Wish, really. Okay, so we've got Cryogenesis to deal with the Windrunner. We've got another 2-drop as well. We can't play both of them in one turn. Kind of has to die. We're still ahead on board. There's every chance he's got a Siphon Energy to get rid of the Fenrir Warmaster's Dying Wish, but I can't really risk leaving a Windrunner up on the board, otherwise he can get out of hand quite quickly. Okay. So I do want to get rid of the Portal Guardian. I can use the Saber Spine and Cryogenesis to do that, or just use Cryogenesis and attack in actually. So that leaves me with 2 mana. Right, Marmalade Badger, how you doing? Okay, so with 3 tigers in hand, I don't know whether I just go face as quickly as possible. Probably not, because I expect he does have healing. It'd be 8 damage this turn, however. But it doesn't guarantee lethal next turn anyway. Just not sure what good options I have. I can use Saber Spine to kill this with my general. This doesn't kill anything. There's no way really to keep this alive. This is pretty rough. You nail me on Duelyst, nice, yeah. Replace Frostfire, because obviously I don't have a minion on the board, there's no point in keeping that. So I can Snowpiercer to trade this, and then Emerald Rejuvenator, which is stronger, well, as strong as both of these. Probably better than the alternative, which is just playing out these 2 and a Saber Spine. Keeper of the Veil too strong. That's fine. 5-drop that spawns another 5-drop. It's completely okay. And Third Wish as well. Nice. I definitely foresee this going well for us. Between this we have 3, 6, 9, still not enough. Can I really afford to Hailstone Prison 2 Keepers of the Veil? I can send the Healing Mystic back. That gets rid of Third Wish, but it does mean that he's got extra healing and I'm kind of pushed to finish him off now, fairly soon. And kind of killed any attempt at me getting any kind of board control from this point onwards. So I just straight up die to it. None of these are really very good. But I feel like finding some kind of rush damage is the only way I win, and hope he doesn't have another damage in hand now. There we go. I think like normally it's quite a good matchup against Vitruvian, but kind of he drew into 2 Keepers of the Veil. I didn't draw into a single Dancing Blades, which is like my only comparable high drop. I only had, I think, 1 Emblem Rejuvenator that I was actually able to play. So my board presence was just really weak throughout that whole game. I think MacLeod should be a fairly good match for this deck as well. Obviously any kind of grow minions or big minions Hailstone deals with. Any kind of rebirth gets stopped by Chromatic Cold. What am I doing? It's like the very basics of the game are eluding me today. The obvious play there is to play the Crystal Cloaker onto the Mana Spring and then play the Veil Hunter behind me. Instead I've just got this really weak 1-2 ranged minion and left the Mana Spring bare. What am I doing? Right, so we could just play these 2 out anyway. I could get both of these mana tiles. No, I couldn't. Right, that's fine. We'll just deny 1 and take by taking the one in front of us. We won't kill the Silithar this turn because we can't kill the egg as well. Do I want to move over closer to this one? No, we'll stay here for now. I suppose the one redeeming quality of the Veil Hunter right now is that it's the only target for natural selection, so he's unlikely to want to use it on just that. So that's a small win for us. Unless we could just throw out an Elucidator now and go kill it, but or a Macintor. Yep. Bad times. So we can kill this. That's not a problem. Throw the Rust Crawler back for now. I can't kill this and play out my Rejuvenator as well. should have attacked him with this first. Just making so many misplays. It's unreal. Right. Plasma storm maybe? No, okay. Just trying to rush me down. Doing a pretty good job of it. So I can take this mana tile and play Cryogenesis to kill this, use one of these to kill this. But I'm probably better off using Cryogenesis to kill this and trade that way instead. This is just kind of awkward because it's quite likely if he's trying to rush me down he's probably got the damage in hand. So I kind of need to play this, but then I can't play Cryogenesis as well to remove one of these. So do I just trade minions and not be greedy? I can tour again? No, okay. Alright, so he's on 19 health. I have 3, 6, 8, 12, 13. So rather than Hailstone, it's probably worth killing this because it's easy enough for me to do so. The only question is Cryogenesis or Dancing Blades. I think Dancing Blades. No, Dancing Blades is a more inefficient use of damage. I'd need to trade something. So Cryogenesis it is. Right, this is rough. So that's 8 again, still short. 8, 10, 11. I'm not likely to find 4 damage either. I don't really know that I survived this turn, but there weren't a lot of good options there to use. Perhaps there's a chance. Could be a chance. So again we can Cryogenesis, kill the egg. Don't have lethal, do we? 2, 3, 8, 10, 12. No, we're 1 off lethal. So just chromatic cold and cryogenesis. Chromatic cold, dancing blades is probably the best option. Okay, so that's getting big. 11, 3, 6, 3, 6, 11. Yeah, so we should have lethal now if I've counted correctly. There's no guarantee of that being the case. Oof, close one. I still don't necessarily think there's anything wrong with the deck, but maybe there is. Like the Veil Hunter isn't doing much for me. Maybe I need to swap that out. Frostfire isn't a particularly effective card. It's helped me find lethal a couple of times though, so perhaps I'm slightly loath to get rid of it. The whole point of this is finding a deck that works below the cost of 1,000 spirit. And I mean, it's gone from the bottom of rank 10, where my first experiment failed, up to rank 8. Obviously, a lot of the decks I'm playing against are packed with just massively valuable spells and minions, legendaries, epics, you name it, whereas I've got like 3 rares or something daft in here. So it's obviously going to have its limitations. I just don't know whether I could tweak it a bit to make it slightly more effective than it is. Right, so I've got no way to get rid of this annoying thing. I think that makes it slightly too valuable a blast. Okay, that's slightly annoying, but not a huge problem. Handful of spells is not much use to anyone. Do I go and take this? Dancing Blades still leaves this guy as a problem. Otherwise it's take this and cast Chromatic Cold and Cryogenesis. No. Right, we move across and take the Mana Crystal, use Cryogenesis to kill this. We should draw into a Crystal Cloaker, which means that I don't think I've got any other Vespers, so that's the only option really. We use this to be spawned here before we kill that. And do I trade with Jaxie before it gets silenced? You just silenced the mini Jax anyway, so is there any point to that? No, we'll leave it on the board. So that should be another Siphon Energy. Okay. 1 + 1 + 1. So if I give that back to him, I've got a chance of giving him another siphon energy, or alternatively, he could get another Science First Wish. He could also save it for if he starts using Third Wish and get one of those instead, so ideally I probably do need to kill it. Can I kill it this turn? Don't think I can. I'll replace the Crystal Cloak because I want to look for options. Cryogenesis does it and gives me the Crystal Cloak back as well. Place it here just so it has the infiltrate bonus. I should have attacked with this one, that was a misplay. Keeper of the Veil once more. Please give me a blast minion. So that's fine. So, Vitruvian kind of struggles for ball clear outside of Star's Fury and Blast, obviously. So is the right option here to use Dancing Blades to kill this with my general? Or is the right option to use Hearth Sister to put it over here and then just spawn extra minions to kind of pressure him more? So we've got 6 mana. Hearth Sister. Spawning a Dancing Blades is good enough. Unless he's running artifacts, I'm not going to get burst down. Like Artifacts and Aurora's Tear or whatever it's called. I'm unlikely to just straight up die in one turn. Like the Hearth Sister play would have been better in that I would have used 2 cards, so I would draw through more of my deck. I do need to start finding some healing soon, probably. So, are we going to kill the mini Drex and drop an Amiara? Or is it another keeper? Who knows? Could even be a Laser Cat special. It's like an Ashmeth will crack when you get 2 Keepers of the Veil. On steroids, I should say, not on crack. Four, 6. That can't attack. 8. 11. 15. So yet again we're 1 off. So 6, 8, 10, 12, 15, yeah. I still think I Hailstone these just for the sake of pressure, really. I can get rid of a Chromatic Cold. Use that there as a blocker for him, put this here, attack, 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 before I run out of time. is. Okay, we made it. So I would be dead here to 2 third wishes on the Keeper of the Veil. I'd be dead to 1 third wish and rushes. Just need to find something that gives me 1 more damage that I can fit in quickly. Does Flash Freeze do damage to generals? No. Just because I've been like 1 damage off lethal in like the last however many games I've played. Probably 4 games or something like that where I've been 1 damage off lethal. The fact that he's dispelled the Fenrir though makes me think that he doesn't have a good answer to my board. Customary third wish. Double third wish. Rip. Doesn't need an answer to my board. Just Keeper of the Veil's making me very upset this evening.